Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of the Podcast. I am Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I am...
Recording?
Brownie. I am recording. No, MF, I hit the button! Hold on. Everybody hold on. We're rolling that intro again. Just give me 1 sec. I'm very angry because I hit the freaking button. I promise. Okay, we're just doing it again. Shh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of the Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm recording. This computer, I don't know. I'm blaming the computer. It definitely is not my fault. That's for sure.
Oh, man. Well, hey, last week you got to see one light, and now there's more. So this is all of Chris's design. He's like, I want it lit up. I'm getting these lights, Jeremy. We're going to do this. We're going to get these lights, and we're going to put them up all over and under the couch and
lit.
around. So
Literally.
as you can see, you know what? We have a little bit more dynamic background now, and it is awesome. We got lights underneath. We got I love the accent lights. Like, I can just see the red and green going. Kara said it looks like Boba Fett's having like a little rave down there.
Wait, Boba Fett, Vader? Boba Fett and Vader.
Yep.
They're having a party underneath the thing. So it looks really good. The other thing that we've been talking about doing for at least a year is putting up these shelves. We've got Gabe, the permanent Ewok, there on set. Wow, I don't know how to point. We've got Gabe the Ewok. That's his name. He is up on permanent display. We've got all sorts of fun stuff. We're going to be, we've got so many Lego sets to display, so many things to do, and just adds a little bit to our set. So I think it's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. I love the tree. It's festive and it's fun. I love it. So
We're not excited for Christmas or anything.
Yeah.
Not one bit.
Not even a little.
This is so we talked about the last podcast that I'm like the Christmas Grinch, and then we watched Charlie Brown Christmas, and I'm like, I'm Charlie Brown.
It's true.
I am Charlie Brown.
What's the point of Christmas, Linus?
Yeah, exactly. That's me. I am Charlie. And then even the dog Snoopy sells out. Like Snoopy enters the world's best,
Decorated house.
Decorated house, and then he wins.
Of course he does.
So it's so awesome.
Hey, thanks, David. He said the shelves look really good.
Oh, thanks, David.
Jeremy didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
Jeremy's 100% responsible for the way that the shelves and the LEDs look right now.
Yep.
So if the shelves fall down, it's my fault. Because I was like, oh, well, one side's into a stud, one side's into a wall anchor. Wall anchors are unavoidable. You'd think they would know the shelf was more than wide enough to be 16 inches on end, but the bracket's just in the middle part. So.
Yeah.
But hanging shelves is boring. In pale comparison to when we started the podcast. We started it. There's a quote in the trailer on the channel, like, this is the year of Star Wars, and that was 2019. No, next year is the year of Star Wars. Oh my goodness.
Between next year and 2023, everything's being released.
Disney Plus, it should just be called Star Wars Plus. With
Seriously?
all of the content. Now, I just don't think it's possible that every one of these shows is going to have the level of The Mandalorian. I don't think it's going to happen. I think my mom doesn't really... She loves watching the movies, and that was it. She does not touch the animated stuff. She's addicted to Mandalorian. Professionals that Kara worked with, they're watching The Mandalorian. People are watching The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. But I think a big part of that is because it's like a first. It's a first live-action thing.
Well, one of the doctors, after he's done with Mandalorian... He told me, he's like, I'm going back, I'm watching Clone Wars, I'm watching Rebels, I'm watching Resistance. And so then I used my professional email and I sent him links to the chronological release of Clone Wars. Because it's professional work. Just saying.
It is very important to keep all those things straight, too. If I didn't have the watch order thing.
Yeah.
I still did get confused occasionally. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine how big of a cluster it would have been.
So, like, off the top of my head, I have the Obi-Wan series. There's an Ahsoka series, which I can't believe is coming out.
Series.
A Boba Fett series.
Bad Batch.
Cassian series.
Acolyte.
There's Acolyte. There's another one that starts with an A that's not Ahsoka.
Oh, there's the Rogue Squadron.
I love the Rogue Squadron video game. Like, that was so good. I can't imagine how good a Rogue Squadron TV show is. Chris just said the Bad Batch is coming out.
I kind of hope Rogue Squadron's, follows the Alphabet Squadron, maybe?
That'd be kind of cool.
I think that'd
But
be
Rogue
sick.
Squadron was its own distinct squadron, though.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll run into the Outfit Squadron. That'd be awesome.
Well, the time frame that like the Rogue Squadron video game was just epic was in like height of the Empire time, like right before Luke blew up the Death Star. It was
Yeah,
they
like
were-
doing all their daring missions.
Oh, so good. And Wedge was like a huge component of that, and Biggs would have still been around if it was before the Death Star attack.
Yeah.
So, because rest in peace, Biggs. He had an
Poor
epic
Biggs.
mustache, man. But yeah, like
Thanks, the 70s.
yeah, right. But no, I just like wow, man, what a time to be a Star Wars fan. And my mom even like just called me up randomly, and you know, you struggle with like Animal Crossing as a video game, right? Video games in general, still to this day, have a negative connotation. Like it could be considered a waste of time, even though we all know it's not. Okay, it's not. No different than watching a TV show.
Or a podcast about Star Wars and other
Watching
pop
a
culture stuff.
podcast about what podcast.
Okay, so you know, you just said video games still have a negative connotation.
They do.
So it's really funny because I'll have a lot of guys come and sit in my chair at work. I'll be cleaning their teeth. I'm like, oh, what are you into? And they're like, oh, I love snowboarding and I love being outside and going hiking and doing all these things. And I'm like,
That's a socially acceptable starter.
And then I'm like, do you play video games? And they're like, well, sometimes. And I'm like, well, what do you play? And they list off like 5 or 6 different games. And I was like, dude, you're a gamer. Like, you may hike and stuff during the day, but you game just as much as the rest of us. Don't even start.
It's funny that you bring that up because so I am on a variety of online dating apps. 130% of people, the number one thing that's like, I love hiking in the outdoors. I love hiking.
Seriously?
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I was like, I've seen your profile. You like no.
Why?
It's okay to say F the outs, chilling, doing cool nerd shit stuff.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. But no, that's what I'm saying. And I like, I don't lead with that. Never would I tell my hygienist, be like, "Oh, what do you like to do for fun?" Oh man, I slayed it in Destiny last night, or I fired up COD and loved it. Like that would not have been an acceptable way to spend your time 10 years ago.
Honestly,
even
I'm
15
probably
years
one
ago.
of the only hygienists in the world, though, that's like, I like to video game. I like to play.
Well, yeah, it
you know.
blows everyone's minds, and they're like, "What the heck?" I love all the like stubborn kids that warm up to you because
Oh, yeah, I get kids all the time, like, typically between the ages of, like, 13 and 15, where they're like, ugh, I'm too cool for this. Like,
I'm too cool for clean teeth.
yes,
Right?
exactly.
My teeth are gnarly, bro.
And then I'll
You don't
sit,
even know.
Seriously, and then I'll sit and I'll start talking with them about video games, and it's just like, boom, that cool wall is, like, shattered. And we can just sit and chit-chat about, you know, all the nerdy video games and things that we like to play, and
I got a +4 sword of Excalibur's touch.
exactly.
By the way, Chris, worst top to have a water bottle forever on set are these sucky kinds. So I just unscrewed it so I can just drink and because you get the back air in and it's just whoosh.
Yeah.
So it's just horrible when you're
And
on.
if you suck out too much, then the bottle starts going, and it goes after
Starts
you.
to crinkle.
Yep.
So yeah, I can't imagine in a time where people like yeah. Anyways, so back to roll the clock back. My point about bringing it up is Star Wars can still have a negative connotation to it. Like some people still think it's nerdy, given the height of so many people loving it. It can still have a negative connotation.
Oh, heck yeah.
So the fact that Star Wars or Disney is putting all their eggs in the basket for Disney Plus and doing all these Star Wars shows is really incredible because it just means it's not going anywhere. It's a great topic to have a podcast on. Is it's keeping us in business for.
Gabe wants to know if kids in the U.S. talk like that. the
Some of
dorky
them
ones do.
Some of them do. I had one kid come in, like, you could tell he was a skater boy. Like, his dad had dreads, long dreads, like, huge gauged ears. And the kid comes in basically like a mini-me of his dad. And, like, he was one of those, I'm too cool for this. Like, flossing? Who flosses, right? And so...
The kid with the backpack, that's who.
Right. And so, yeah, he and I talked about video games, and he really opened up. And I think I may have gotten him onto flossing because I'm a cool hygienist. Like,
How dare you trick a innocent youth like that, Kara?
You can't get them to floss their teeth. How would you even go about that? Like, oh, you know, you got some sweet achievements in, you know, Cyberpunk, but you can get an achievement in real life for flossing your teeth.
Yeah.
So you know what
Flossing is cool.
You know what I do? Like, we sit and we talk. I don't go over brushing or anything during the cleaning. I just sit, I talk with them, if it's hurting a little bit, because if you don't floss and your gums are real bad, yeah, your cleaning's going to hurt a little bit. Like, I'm sorry. My bad.
Toughen up.
But then, so we just chit chat, just talk about video games. At the end, I'm like, I have to go over this. And then we go and talk about flossing. I don't make it seem like I don't want to make, like, you need to floss. You suck at flossing. How dare you? Blah.
That was the worst part of always going to get my teeth cleaned, is getting yelled at by the hygienist.
Yeah, like
what
listen here, Matthew.
Yeah.
You need to get yourself into a routine of brushing your teeth 3 times a day after every meal. Make sure you floss at least 17 times a day.
What gives you the authority to do all of that, huh? Make us feel bad, us innocent patients.
Explain
School.
yourself.
I
Yeah,
have a
school.
degree in hygiene, yo. I'm a professional.
No, but you just said you weren't one of the ones who do it. My old hygienist, was like so I probably have told this story before, but I went in for a teeth cleaning, and my old hygienist, because now Kara cleans it, which a lot of people think is weird. It was weird for me at first, but now it's fine.
She knows the inside of your mouth more intimately than anybody.
I know.
Uh-huh.
So,
And I
scary
still
in there,
kiss
Kara?
that mouth. I still kiss that mouth.
so
That's Kara approved. Ding.
yeah. So anyway, so get my teeth cleaned, and the hygienist would clean a tooth, and then she'd go.
I remember this.
Then she would clean the next tooth, and she would like set the tools down, and she'd go. It was just I was stressing her out. It made me feel absolutely bad. It was horrible.
We were either
We were
dating or
dating.
married at this point, and he came up.
You were going to school at the time.
So we were married.
Yeah.
And he came home and he told me about it, and I was like, tell him you don't want to see her again. Like, if you're going to get a hygienist, that is...
It wasn't just me. It just seems like she didn't want to be there at all.
Well, from what I
That's
hear...
an understandable feeling.
So I talked to the girls at work about it, and they said that she was like, that was her last day at work. So I think, like, she was retiring. And so it's kind of like... I just want to get out of here.
Yeah, it's like, who comes...
Did you look
you're
up
like
who
a
it
level
was
10
and then
patient,
like follow it up? Yeah, right.
And
Well-
she's just like, I don't want to deal with a hard mode case today.
I didn't look it up. I should go back in your chart and I should see who's all cleaned your teeth.
Brad says it probably tastes like black licorice.
Yeah, because I'm the only one who eats it.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe that's why every time she picked it out, because Kara, you can smell what people like.
Sometimes you can smell. Like, it's, I mean...
And
Like,
somebody.
they eat a lot of Burger King.
Well, I was gonna say you've gotten an Oreo mouth before, haven't you?
I have not got an Oreo mouth.
Really?
Now,
At least it would smell nice.
Right.
I have this wonderful patient. I love her so much. But she's been smoking her entire life. And prior to wearing N95s, I did almost vomit from the smell of her mouth. And being pregnant, I knew I was going to see her again before going on maternity leave. And I did see her. I was going to have them switch her to somebody else, but I didn't catch it in time. But fortunately, the N95 actually blocked the smell. So I haven't smelled
Nice.
anything lately.
Nice.
N95s plus the level 3s in their face shields, yep, blocks everything.
Gabe says, we don't have cool hygienists like Kara in Puerto Rico. We have mean old ladies.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
See,
like
okay.
if you graduate, so like the mean old lady hierarchy goes school bus driver, lunch lady, dental hygienist.
I know they're all grizzled from years.
And then
of
goes
cleaning
back
teeth.
to like vice principal of the high school. Or
Okay,
something.
so
Yep.
here's what you do, Gabe. You come up here every 6 months,
Ha,
be
get
a
her
guest
teeth
on
cleaned.
Rise of the Podcast,
Hey, that would be sick.
and get your teeth cleaned. Just saying.
And Jeremy will pay for it.
The airplane ride, not the dental work, not the teeth cleaning.
That's interesting. That I guess it depends.
One would be cheaper for
Does-
sure.
Does like our health insurance work in like Puerto Rico and stuff since it's U.S. territory? Wouldn't it work both going back the
I
other
don't see
way?
You
why
would think
not.
it would work in
Depends
both.
on who the carrier is.
Yeah, I guess see if Kara's dental
Is in
place
network.
in network.
Is in network. So here,
a bunch of stuff in Puerto Rico in one office in Duluth.
Okay, here's the thing. I do have a patient that comes from California,
Okay.
one that comes in from New York, and one that comes in from D.C.
all right, Brad, you can fly over too. You
Yep.
can fly into
Yep.
Duluth, get your teeth cleaned, and then fly back.
They just plan their family vacations around it. Every 6 months they'll come up, they'll visit family. Get
It's
their
a
teeth
really
cleaned.
good office. It's seriously the only place I've ever gone my entire
People
life.
come up from the cities all the time. They'll travel 2-3 hours just to see Lake Superior Dental.
It's once you find a dentist, you can't give them up. Mm-hmm. That's plain and
Dennis the
simple.
Menace.
But I was gonna say, so I was logging on, and I liked any type of online purchase or really even purchasing anywhere. I like to use a credit card, and the only reason I like to use a credit card is because if it gets
you're wealthy.
if it gets compromised,
He
we'll
likes
say.
those sweet points.
The rewards points is totally worth why he does it. So.
But if it gets compromised, it's not your money.
Francis cares not going in my mouth.
Yeah, after all the crap she's talked about everybody. All right, I got that smoker. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so if it's on a credit card and you get a fraudulent charge, it's not the money coming out of your like checking account. It comes out of their pocket first. So really, you could just say get bent and just never pay that bill if it came down to it, if they didn't want to resolve it.
Yeah.
But the funny story is I logged on. I just paid off my credit card. I pay it off each month. I just paid it off. I log on to check my balance, and there's over $300 in fraudulent charges on there from some place out in New York City.
So what does he do? He immediately texts me and is like, Kara, where'd these charges come from?
Because
There's
I
always
can't be-
Kara going to Target.
I
Who
can't
doesn't
be,
have access to his credit card?
but
Me.
it's in my wallet. It's just as simple as you pulling it out and using
Why?
it. Like,
I have my own credit cards. Why would I use your credit card?
I don't know, man.
I want my own sweet Ulta
All
points.
I want
Thank
to
you.
say is I can't call out and be like, these are fraudulent charges unless I verify that they're not fraudulent.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
Jeremy's on the phone trying to muscle some guy, and then Kara walks in, and it's like a $300 popcorn ball from New York City.
yeah, right. Be like, what's up? Like, where'd you get that from? In New York. Anyways, the funny part about
Just
it was
covered in gold.
there were separate charges, like a little over $100 a piece, 3 of them, and then they was one that same day from where I had lunch, which was at Jersey Mike's, which we bragged about makes an awesome sandwich here.
Which I could get on Tuesday.
I call up and I'm like, hey, these charges are fraudulent. And I looked and it says where the transaction was. So the card was in person swiped in New York City, and it was also swiped in Duluth at Jersey Mike's. So I called him like, I got these fraudulent charges. And the guy's like, oh, well, there's one for the $15 at Jersey Mike's, and then there's 3 here for $100 a piece. The fraudulent one must be Jersey Mike's. And it's like, no, I got that $15 sandwich. That's clearly my lunch. Every other purchase I've ever made is in Duluth, and then the ones are in New York City. They're obviously fraudulent. It doesn't say like online. It says whether it's online or in person.
Yeah,
And it was in person.
Yeah, like when I pay for some things, like on Amazon, if it's not at the Amazon sale, it'll be like such and such online Montana, such and such online Utah.
Exactly.
Right.
No, this was in person in New York. So I checked today. They've been debited to my account, or like it's been taken off my account. But it's just frustrating.
What? So here's the question, Jeremy. What sketchy website were you on with your credit card?
That's what I want to know. Well, so now I'm eyeing up.
Bigboobs.org.
Right. I'm eyeing up every single transaction. If you use a chip, with the chip and the reader, your card number isn't stored on their servers.
Yeah,
If you
it's
swipe,
a one-time generated number.
If you swipe, it is. So I'm like looking at every single retailer, going, all right, which one of you swipies people compromise my data? You know.
It could have. Do you pay at the pump when you get gas?
I do. Yeah.
It could have been a skimmer.
Yeah, it could have been a skimmer.
So common.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The only benefit to being poor like me is when people try like pull up your thing and they're like, "Oh, it's not even worth stealing from this guy. He's got $12."
Right.
I've literally had that happen before, where somebody took my credit card, or it was my debit card. Information got taken, and I only had like $7 in my account for like a week until my next payday or whatever. And then there's an exact charge. It was like $6.59 or something.
Oh man.
That exact charge as a prepay at a gas station in the middle of nowhere.
So that person is like, oh, he's got $7. I'm taking $6.50.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They took exactly what I had in my account.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
So it's
Oh,
like-
they said they prepaid it.
Yeah. So they looked up how much I had, and they
Chip and pin, yeah.
yeah
In an
so-
ATM. So, inquiry
Wow.
on the, wow, they stroked you for every penny.
Yeah, which was like whatever. I called the bank and they gave me my $6 back. And then changed
Unreal.
my debit card number.
Well, so
my gosh.
that's the little funny caveat to the story.
Hello, Joshy.
Hi, Joshy.
NerdyDentist.com. Or Naughty. Sorry, NaughtyDentist.com.
NaughtyDentist.com. But,
Either one.
No, so here's
I
the
was going to say
frustrating
I should
part.
start a blog on nerdydentist.com.
Brad says, I'm coming to notice that Kara doesn't have access to anything.
What? She's got her own stuff.
I got my own stuff. Yeah, I don't need his stuff. I'm an independent woman.
I see.
Just kidding.
But
I wish
no,
I was a strong independent
Oh,
woman.
right. So the most annoying thing is it's like whatever. This has probably happened one time. It happened like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, but the charge didn't go through. I got a text on my phone. It said they were trying to buy the it's super famous in our area. It's in Shakopee, the amusement park.
Oh, Valley Fair.
Valley Fair. They were trying to buy tickets to Valley Fair with my card. $500, $1,500, three whacks at $500 a piece. So what happened on that one is it didn't even go through because it popped up on my phone. It said, "Hey, are you trying to make a purchase right now?" Because they're trying to buy gift cards, like $500 gift cards. So it like flagged.
To Valley Fair?
Yeah, it tried to flag like the point of sale system.
Well, here's the thing. Like every place I've ever worked, like a retail place that has gift cards, you cannot use a card to buy gift. You have to buy it with cash.
Yeah, they flagged it.
Yeah.
When I go to Target, I buy gift cards.
Well, like Target's a little bit bigger than the little store.
Yeah,
True.
But like their whole thing was like that was the number one way that we would get ripped off. Is somebody coming with a stolen credit card buy, $650,000 worth of gift cards.
and then that's it.
And then scratchies you can only buy with cash.
Yep.
So the most annoying part, which did make me laugh, it made me chuckle, is once you get a new card number, you got to all your auto pay is jacked up.
Oh God, it's
So
such
like
a nightmare.
myself, all that stuff's all auto pay on my one card. As I just predominantly use one, and so I called in that it was fraudulent at 9 a.m. By 11:30 a.m., I had an email from my heating and conditioning gas company, a natural gas company, saying your credit card purchase was declined. Please make this right by paying your bill. Blah blah. So it was like 2 hours later, the first charge went through, and I'm like, of course.
Well, like in a modern life, as a responsible grown adult, there's just so many things that like you just need to fast track so you can just function as a member of society. Otherwise, you're gonna be sitting at a desk writing checks 11 days a week.
Who wants to do that? Balancing a checkbook? Nobody wants to do that. So frustrating.
Yeah, 32 on YouTube says that we had someone trying to use our Walmart account to buy a bunch of PS5s and stuff in California.
Well, if they got them, as long as they shipped them to you, let them try it. But yeah, no, anyways,
one-time fraud works out for you.
Hi, so 32. I'm just going to do a shout out. We haven't seen you. I haven't heard you on here yet. We got a pretty good memory of who's here, so welcome. We're a nerdy Star Wars podcast, but we tell crazy stories. We do all sorts of fun stuff. And that just reminds me of, so Chris, you've seen Breaking Bad. You've seen Breaking Bad. I saw a thing, and it's Heisenberg's picture. And it's like, when I get on Twitter and I tip $1, and then it shows Heisenberg, and it says, say my name. Is this like, that's what streamers do, right? I mean, they do shout-outs for their people, but that made me laugh.
We need to turn on Super Chat.
Yeah, exactly. Because, Breaking Bad's such a good show.
It's an excellent show.
So, all right, so we were talking about like all the new shows. Kara, which of the new one announced are you most excited for? Probably.
Oh gosh. Oh, Kenobi.
And not Kenobi doesn't count.
Okay.
We've known that one was announced.
I'm still the most excited.
Okay, Hayden Christensen. New news for Kenobi. Hayden Christensen was announced to return as Darth Vader.
I liked him as Darth Vader in Revenge of the Sith.
It's pretty easy to play Darth Vader, to be completely honest.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But
Chris, David Prowse, too soon.
Tiffany says, 32 is Jody.
Oh, Jody. Tiffany and Jody.
I was excited. Well, hi, Jody. 32 never commented when Tiffany was on the podcast.
They might have. I don't know. There was a lot of commenting on that one, if I recall correctly.
There was.
Because Tiffany was illegal animal activity.
Yeah, just an animal criminal.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's okay. I mean,
the crimes.
I did get a call from the FBI about Tiffany. They wanted me to contact their info, and I said, nope, hard drive seizure letter or bust, man.
They sent you a contact at Rise of the Podcast.
Yeah! Woohoo! I got an email. If you want to send us an email, unless you're the FBI, then don't. You can send an email to contact@riseofthepodcast.com, and we will either read it on air or we will frame it. Speaking of which,
you can challenge Jeremy to feats of strength if you want to. Or,
Brad, do you like the shelves? Tiffany and Jody, do you guys like the shelves? The shelves are new. Got new stuff on the wall. It's kind of fun.
She says, I've been doxxed.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, Kara, what's your new show? Because Kenobi had been announced prior to the most recent.
So new announcements. I am excited for Ahsoka. I'm hoping they figure out the Leku thing because I just can't let it go.
What if they just had her bald instead?
That'd be fine.
Did you say that'd be fine?
That's fine.
Would you rather bald than inaccurate Leku?
I'd rather have an accurate Leku than bald, but...
So, there you go. Stop complaining.
You tell me all the time bald is beautiful. You say that you like my bald hair.
Okay, here's the thing, though. Ahsoka's Leku are like flesh. So that would mean she would have had to have some sort of like surgery and all that, everything.
What if
She's
she
just
had-
trying to be
what-
like
what if-
Anakin.
What if there was an accident sometime in between?
What if somebody had the high ground? And she was on Mustafar.
Sweet Lord. Oh my gosh. Okay.
they dripped too low and got into the magma?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways, all
Ahsoka.
right.
I'm looking forward to Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Chris, did you have one that stuck out to you?
I mean, I'm excited about Bad Batch, but I think that
Yeah.
Kenobi's. I mean, which one are we counting?
No, I was just
I
gonna
think
say.
here's the one that I'm not excited about. The one where they add an extra droid to C-3PO and R2-D2. It's so vague and nebulous. I
Droid
can't-
Tales, is
Yeah.
that a thing?
Yeah.
Droid
Droid
Tales
Tales.
is
Woo.
the
Yeah, right.
Cartoon one.
Okay.
Droids. It's just called. I think it's just called Droids, and that's where.
They had a series called Droids already, though.
Was it?
Yeah, it was in like the 80s.
Oh well. Anyway.
I mean, they could be a reboot. Who knows? Anyway, so Tiffany says they're driving around looking at Christmas lights and listening to us.
Oh, fun.
Send us pictures of the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Bad Batch. I'm kind of excited because it does take place post Order 66.
Ooh, that'll be fun. That'll be
Yeah.
a good area to fill in.
So I'm excited about that. It's from what I read about it, it's them kind of trying to figure out their place in the galaxy now.
Droid Tales, beep boop. People are commenting the shelves. Brad says a good marriage is built on lies. So yeah.
Okay, so all right, I'm really excited.
So all right. So hold on. Just okay.
I'm really excited for Rogue Squadron, but we learned a lot of this stuff. I saw my go-to place for all my announcements. Joshy and Gabe on the Latin Operation Forces. You guys, I followed your like public press release on you listed all the shows that were announced. They're my go-to place for all my Star Wars news now because you guys rock. Gabe, you've been posting more on the Latin Operation Forces page. I've been seeing that, which is kind of fun because you're going to start streaming soon. We're going to probably have a bunch of Cyberpunk talk coming up. But one thing I wanted to do a little side tangent on is childhood books, okay?
Ooh, okay.
So, two books I read that had a very similar theme. So we've been watching the Vikings TV show, right? And I really just want to go out and cut logs, not people.
Cut stuff logs.
Cut logs with an axe. Like split some wood, you know. Make
It's
some
only fun for
kindling.
about 5 seconds, then you're like, oh, this sucks.
Make some kindling. No, then I can have a. No offense, Kara. But now I can have a cool Tinder bio, like we were talking about. I love the outdoors for 5 minutes, and then I'm good. You know, I'm just.
I
being
better
funny.
be the only one you swipe right on.
So no, but you know what it says. So
He just only swipes right if he sees logs in their profile picture.
one of my coworkers brought up the book Hatchet. So
Nice.
have you at least read Hatchet?
I have not.
Have you read Hatchet?
I don't think so.
So all right, well I'm sure Brad has read Hatchet. I almost guarantee it. I put
All right,
money on it.
Let's hold on. Just wait to see if he says that he has.
Okay.
Oh, Gabe says he streamed on Thursday. He already has his cam and mic set up.
Yes.
Nice.
Just
How was your
killing
internet
it.
connection?
Just killing it.
Right.
Okay, so Hatchet. Explain
Hatchet the
what
book.
it is.
So it's about a book about this kid who his parents are divorced. His dad lives in Canada and his mom lives in the U.S. And on the way there, the plane crashes
To where?
to Canada. He was
Okay.
leaving New York and was on the way to see his dad. And the plane crashes. The pilot dies, and he's just got a couple things on him. He's got a hatchet. And then, like, a little fire starter and some tinder. And he's got to use these things to survive. And he makes it 52 or 56 days in the wilderness. And then he gets saved or whatever. He gets caught. But it's the story about how he uses these things. It's a little survival story.
So it's
But
kind of like The Martian, but
Yeah.
just a kid in the snow.
Right. But it's written at a 15-year-old-ish level. Okay, that's like the target range for the book. And I just
Well,
remember.
Brad's only read one book in his life, he said, so
Oh.
it wasn't that one.
Got it. Sorry. Okay, all right. Well, I put a lot of faith in you, Brad. You could have lied. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a big Cliff Notes guy.
Yes.
So we were talking about that, and then there's two books that I always get mixed up. And one of them was one that my dad swore that I had to read, and I absolutely loved it as a kid. And it's called My Side of the Mountain. So My Side of the Mountain is about a kid who's sick of life. Ryan, have you read My Side of the Mountain? Hatchet, yes.
He's living my side of the mountain.
Hatchet, yes. My Side of the Mountain, no. So a lot of people haven't heard of My Side of the Mountain. So this kid runs away from home, and he finds a tree, and he like hollows it out, and he builds like this tree house inside of this tree, and he lives for a whole winter off of just, things that he can procure for himself. Or a fun part I remember is deer hunters would shoot deer. he'd run out and steal the deer, and then the hunters wouldn't find the deer, and then they would just leave empty-handed. So he was like all these different ways. He trains a falcon named Frightful. He gets like a baby falcon. He becomes a falconeer, and it's just these like youth survival stories are just tying really fun in with like this.
The Lord of the Flies.
The Lord of the Flies, right?
That's not really a youth survival story. That's more of a dystopian future society story. But
So what's kind of fun is, this is why I love Star Wars, is the author for Hatchet. I'm trying to like figure out some books that I can read coming up in the future.
Because Kara's illiterate? What are you saying?
No, to the belly, to the little kid that's coming here, little guy.
Bean.
I'm getting ready.
Old Methuselah Manthe.
So I looked it up, and the author for Hatchet has written 4 other books, and
Machete.
yeah, right.
Shovel.
So funny enough, right? 2, he's older. Plane goes down again, and he survives again.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. 3.
That's no.
No, I gotta tell you this. This did make me laugh. Although it was higher rated than the original one, which is funny enough. And the original one's like got the silver medal on it, like it's a really good book. 3 is what if he never got picked up after 50 days and he has to survive through the winter. So the 3rd one's like an alternate timeline. So that seems kind of cool.
Okay, that's more
that's pretty
acceptable than the Die Hard paradox. Where, how could the same stuff happen to the same guy twice?
Well, that we watched GoldenEye, and that made me laugh because Natalia's like, "Do you just get every vehicle you get in, you crash?" And at the end, the Marines pick him up, and they're like, "Let's go!" And she's like, "I'm not getting in the chopper with him," or whatever, like because they crash in every single thing that he gets in. But
I love how
good, that pen.
oh, the pen
Right?
click—that's my favorite GoldenEye.
Boris,
I'm
invincible.
So such a good movie. It's the best Pierce Brosnan one for sure.
Here's some streaming updates. So Brad says don't judge him for being a Cliff Notes guy. No, that's totally fine.
That's awesome.
David says he watched some of Gabe's stream for a bit. It looked really good.
Nice.
And Gabe said, I'm going to stream either later tonight or tomorrow in the afternoon. Then Brad says Where the Red Fern Grows is a good book.
Oh, there you go.
I watched Where the Red Fern Grows as a kid. Pretty sure I cried.
Tuck Everlasting.
That reminds me. Okay, Chris, did you ever read Redwall?
Yes.
Redwall's dope. Did you ever read Redwall?
That's like Lord of the Rings for kids.
That's right up your alley. Except instead of...
I didn't need Lord of the Rings for kids. I totally just straight up read Lord of the Rings.
But all I'm saying is, before you get all high and mighty over there, squirrel feeder,
Yeah.
Redwall is a story of a mouse that's like Legolas. So it's a mouse with a little sword, and he goes on an adventure.
Cute.
It's an adorable little book. I remember
It's a
just
good book.
rocking that out.
There's
What's it called?
some stuff
Redwall.
in there.
Redwall.
Yeah, there's some real issues in there.
Okay.
So, anyways, it just
Harry Potter.
yeah, right. It just those were some books that had just come across my plate, some work conversation that I was just in, and it was some fun reminiscing. All right, so back to Star Wars really quick. Boy, we can't go to Star Wars yet because if we go to Star Wars, Brad's got to leave, so we can't do Star Wars.
Yeah,
yet.
we got to wait until 8 o'clock.
One more week, Brad.
Guys, we are sending out.
He said he was going to get it this week, I think, but I don't know if he's caught up or not.
We're sending out mixed signals right now because we said red would be
Yeah.
and green would be safe.
Well, in this circumstance, hold on, what's this here? There's a new app that reads the Cliff Notes to you. Welcome to 2020. That's amazing.
Yes.
Don't even have to use your eyes anymore to learn to read.
Okay, I never read any textbooks in college. Textbooks, I would always go to when
When you were studying for hygiene, you actually...
I skimmed. I never fully read chapters.
I
would go to-
recreationally purchase and read textbooks
What's wrong with you?
for filmmaking and stuff. It's so interesting. So here's the difference between me and everybody else in the world who hasn't figured out what they want to do with their lives. There's a thing that I want to know how to do, and there's a whole bunch of books that tell me how to do it. So I just buy them and read them, and it's like, oh, that's how you do it.
That's funny.
So
I'd
I'm-
always go to the index in textbooks and be like, this is what I'm looking for. Oop, it's on page 398. Boop, 398. Oh, there it is.
Well, the greatest thing about a PDF is Control F.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
To figure out where you want to go immediately.
I didn't have any online books for hygiene. So,
Oh, sorry, I'm unrelated. I was not paying attention to what you guys
Oh.
are talking about.
Was there a good comment?
Oh, as Gabe said, he saw David pop into his viewer list, and he has like the eyeball emoji or whatever.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Old Yeller is the saddest. We're talking just about sad stories now. He's not caught up, but next week he will be.
All right.
Yes.
So next week, so we're going to put off talking about Mandalorian out of respect for Brad. But one thing we are going to talk about, it's Cyberpunk time.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Yep.
All right.
And so Jeremy and Kara are both way ahead of me. Let me kick off the conversation.
All right, you kick off the conversation. This is me just,
I have a potato of a computer right now.
backing up going, because I'm about to unload with my Cyberpunk views. But you go for it.
So, like, I had heard that it was coming out and it looked interesting or whatever. And then, like, randomly, what was it, like, Thursday morning?
Yeah.
I just ended up waking up early. I'd gone to bed kind of early the night before. And I woke up and...
No, it was Wednesday morning.
Was it Wednesday morning?
Because the game technically came out for everyone Wednesday night at midnight, and that guy got it early.
That's right.
So it was Wednesday morning.
So a YouTuber that I follow, he streams, and I don't normally watch his streams. I do occasionally, but I normally just watch his, like, finished videos or whatever. And he was streaming a playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I check it out, and he was maybe, like, an hour into the game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And,
So before the intro was over.
Yeah. Definitely before that was over. And he was just like messing around, and like his whole channel is built around breaking game mechanics, right? And he like explains like why you shouldn't do certain things or whatever. Like if you're developing a game, he's like, you never do straight multiplication bonuses with % damage increases because they can just run away, right?
Yep.
And he was the one who showed me like if you stack all these different pistol perks, all of a sudden you're doing like 600,000 damage headshot crits.
Right.
Or whatever at like level 10.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
But so like I was watching, I was like, oh, this looks really freaking cool or whatever. And like because he got the early copy based on the idea that he's like just showing exploits of the game or whatever. Like he could not show any of the story stuff. So when it came to story things, he was just like hitting skip on everything.
Right.
So that like people wouldn't like get like spoilers of the thing.
Right.
Like literally it was just like the gameplay mechanics that could be broken that he was showing.
Okay.
And it was just like really interesting. And I kept on like messaging Jeremy. He's like, "This game looks freaking sick. This
Yeah.
game looks freaking sick."
So Chris knows I'm up at like 6 a.m. So I'm getting messages from Chris super early. So it's like either A, Chris was up all night, or B, you slept like garbage and you were just up really early. But I was surprised to see messages that early, and it was getting me stoked because I knew I had my copy pre-ordered and I was excited to play. But you're telling me about all this stuff, and I hadn't even really seen. No one had really seen a ton of gameplay. We'd only seen like cinema trailers or whatever, you know, like.
And like
of the cutscenes.
The things that really got me were like, I love robust skill trees.
Yep.
I love it when there's like a million different things you can try to do to maximize your stuff.
Yep.
Did you see? I don't know if you've seen this yet. Actually, there are vendors that'll sell reset tokens for your perks.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. No.
Oh,
It's
really?
$100,000.
Holy mother.
And
And
it's a
Eddies are hard to get.
Yeah, and it's a one time. That's right, Eddie's. It's a one-time use thing, but it resets all your perks.
Huh, that's cool.
I was at a Ripper dock, and he had like a bunch of different OSs or whatever, and he had that, and there was like, whoo, that is a spicy freaking meatball.
Mm-hmm.
That
But-
was one thing that was really cool about Valhalla is you could go back and reset any point you put in at any time for free. It was nice.
So in games where you can do stuff like that, like Divinity Original Sin 2,
Yeah.
we called it Going to College. There's a mirror, like this magic mirror that you go and like redo the things. Like, oh, I need more persuasion. Time to go to college and learn how to persuade people. And then you just go and dump your points back around so you can persuade the people.
That's
And,
yeah. See, it's nice.
and like it's nice, but at the same time, it's like if it seems as though they have all of the avenues covered, so that if you can't do something one way, you have another option.
Yeah, it seems that.
But anyway, so the things that got me was like deep skill tree. Like I love looter shooters, and this one's sort of like that. Like there's
Oh, absolutely.
you know, like Borderlands,
So
one of my
much
favorite
loot.
games.
So
You know,
it's-
but like it's like Borderlands with an amazing skill tree and actually a story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's fun is like everybody. There's games where people will die and then their gear or objects won't be lootable. It's like whatever they're shooting you with, you can loot.
Yeah.
So every gun that they use is,
Yep.
you know, it gets to the point where there's so much to pick up. But like Chris got a perk that he called me and told me about is like where you pick up junk, it automatically gets broken into crafting components for
I think
you.
I
which
got
is,
that because
Yeah.
it's nice.
Oh,
It's-
it's so handy.
because the crafting components are way easier than even trying to figure out what to sell, what not to sell. It's like, no, just give me all the crafting components. And then a thing I was going to tell you about is like if you pick up a gun, it's usually worth between like 30 and 80 eddies. Where if you actually craft one, I think your crafted stuff's worth like 200 plus.
Yeah.
So it might be worth just breaking guns down,
100%.
recrafting them.
That was another thing he was talking about exploiting. Is like
Yeah.
whenever you can see, whenever like so he was pointing out to there's perks that give you more materials when you break stuff down, and can give you free extra materials or crafting costs nothing. Like you have the materials, you can craft it for free.
Yep.
And then there's a perk that lets you sell for, I think, 200% value if you invest all the points into it. So it's like with 7 or 8 skill points, you can basically just craft up a bunch of stuff, then re-break it down, then craft it up again and break it down until you get like the best version, then sell for mad stacks of cash.
Reminds me of just crafting Skyrim daggers to up your crafting or whatever, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
old school gaming exploits, or like stuff like that was always really fun.
I didn't realize how many things I did in Skyrim were actually exploits.
A lot
Until
probably
years
were.
later.
Yeah, a lot.
I was
were.
like the whole brewing potions to make your smithing better,
well, so you would
to make your enchanting better.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
That
like,
was
it's
the
like the
trifecta.
enchanting, alchemy, yeah. So it's like I was walking around with like I was bulletproof, and this is like it like made the game still super fun.
Well, what was funny to
But-
me is that you could brew a potion to make your enchanting better.
Yep.
Then you would enchant stuff that would make your potion making better.
Yep.
And you would just go back and forth a little bit. And then when you got to a certain point, you would use the potion to make your smithing or your enchanting better. You would have already max level enchanting. You enchant a set of gloves or outfit for smithing.
Yep.
Then you take potions to make your smithing better with the clothes that you have. And it's just like, yeah, you could go from making the top tier sword you could find in the game ever is like 150 damage. You'd have 1,100 damage swords or something.
Oh, I had some that were like 40 million damage, like
Bonk.
ridiculous. So like I remember looking up like the maximum effective armor value, like where nothing matters after it, is like 400.
Yeah.
And I had like a chest piece that was like 30,000.
Isn't that, yeah.
So it's like it just like literally, and it was like all that dragon bone armor, or whatever. You could make
Yeah.
cloth armor that was sufficiently made
good.
you immortal.
So funny.
Gabe wants to know what paths we picked.
Okay.
No,
I was going to coordinate it between you three, but no. Kara,
I'm a nomad.
Chris,
Also a nomad, because I didn't realize she had picked nomad, otherwise I would have picked Corp.
I picked Street Kid. So there we are. Street Kid. You guys, Nomad's different. You guys were out in the desert.
Yeah.
As a Street Kid, I started right in town doing my thing. So
How about you, Gabe? What'd you start as?
So
he's got Corp written all over him. I'm just kidding.
Had I known that Kara picked nomad, I would have done Corp,
Yeah.
just to see what the difference would be.
Right. That was.
But I'm more than happy to go back and play another character. But
Yeah.
I was considering doing corporal as well, but I don't know. I didn't want to be.
Why didn't nobody want to do Street Kid?
David did Street Kid.
Growing up on the street.
So the reason I didn't do Street Kid is because that's what the guy that I was watching the playthrough did.
Ah, he did Street Kid. Got it.
I don't know. That seemed like my kind of gameplay. I don't know.
He did do Corpo.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how is it different to? I
So
suppose we
from
watched
what
the
I can
stream,
tell,
but-
the first mission is different, and then it pretty much ties in from there. But you get your own set of dialogue options at certain points.
Yeah, there's an achievement for using
Yeah.
your origin as a dialogue option at least 11 times, I think.
Got it.
I've used mine a couple times. It'll say nomad and then whatever the reply is.
I get a little symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, mine says nomad right in front of
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's different between PC and Xbox.
It might be, or actually, you know what? It might be like a perk level skill that I was using.
Well, there's one girl you can
No.
talk to, and it's funny you nerd out if you can like do a
I
technology.
actually, you told me
Judy,
about that, and
yeah.
then later on that day, I had that Judy. Yeah,
it's
Judy's
Judy,
awesome.
100%.
she's one of the romance options in the game.
Really? I did
Yeah,
not
there's
know that.
romance options in the game.
Well, obviously it's not Pan Am. I've been trying hard to romance her, and it's not working. She keeps turning me down.
So
It's kind of a fun game.
My character is sick.
The first thing I
I'm
did
super excited about her.
is I went to work, and my coworkers have kids that are about 15 to 16 years old. And yes, I'm that guy. I said, did your kids ask you to play Cyberpunk or to buy them Cyberpunk for Christmas? I was like, probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't
Oh,
let.
oh yeah, it's
100%.
a hard M.
I had
Yeah.
to let the other parents know, don't let them sucker you into it. They're not just playing
Yeah.
it to race cars around.
Nope.
They're not just playing it.
There are defo glitches that show certain things that.
So when you first start the game, you can choose to turn off mature content.
You can.
Yeah, there's a mature content option.
Oh, I didn't even.
So,
see
but here's the thing, right? So the parent sets that. How hard is it for the
Yeah.
kid to go back and change it?
that.
You can't
the
change it once
thing.
it's started.
So as long as
But you'd have to start a new game.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I forgot you have to be female to seduce Judy.
oh, bummer.
You were right.
Well, no, I was talking about Pan Am, but I was right about Judy too.
You were right about Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
But-
he guessed that she was lesbian.
Yeah, I guess so. So not a romance option for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It'd be really. I want to say this joke. It'd be really fun. So you can pick
Use your words carefully, Jeremy.
organ sizes. It'd be funny. If
I
there
have
was-
a grand piano.
It'd be funny if there was only somebody you could have it as a romance option if you had a small piano. That'd be funny.
A baby grand?
Yeah.
A baby grand.
That's just funny to me. But no, definitely the game isn't for kids.
Oh, you can change it anytime in settings. I thought that it got locked once the...
It would be baby grand, grand piano, concert grand.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But no, it like they make the video game called Witcher, and that's right up. And speaking of like using an axe outside and everything, I love medieval fantasy environments. So swords, armor, trees, mountains. Witcher is beautiful.
Yeah.
When Jeremy had first started playing, he's like, I know that you're into like the future techie stuff. He's like, I play a lot of medieval things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into this. And then like maybe an hour later, I feel like he was like totally convinced.
So there's a couple of storyline missions that really wheeled me in. One of them being there's a really nice side story about the taxi cabs, which are really funny.
I had him to do that one. I started it, and then I was like, Jeremy, this is hilarious.
I can't spoil stuff. Like,
There's just tons and tons of like. There's so many things that they. So, I didn't realize that the first, depending on how fast you're playing through it, the first 2 to 8 hours of the game is tutorial.
yes.
Seriously, it's
just
insane.
intro, yeah.
I couldn't believe when Jeremy, you got to the intro card before I did.
Yeah, now Kara's passed me in the story.
Yeah, I have.
It took me literally 8.5 hours to get through the introduction.
It's crazy.
I was doing as many side missions as possible, so it's like I did so much side stuff, and then I was like, oh dang, I didn't realize that it just basically didn't mean anything.
This is so even I just coming off of Valhalla, right? Assassin's Creed. So Assassin's Creed has a built-in certain amount of stealth built into it, right? And so that's my problem with Skyrim. I always do a stealthy archer in Skyrim, like always. I try to do a different build. Nope. Oh, let me offhand some magic. Well, no, I want to make one like where I'm committed to just running magic or something, right? But anyways, so this game is the first one. So distracting and like Far Cry games do it, like you throw a rock or whatever. This game, the distracting actually feels like it works. So when you pull up your hacking menu, it's like, oh, I'm gonna hack that camera to get that guy to go that way, and then I'm gonna do that one to go get that way. I'll split him. I can silently go and silently take him out. Like the stealth feels really, really good in this game, which is really fun.
It's
and then
fun.
The hacking, like you were saying, screw Far Cry hacking, or not Far Cry, Fallout hacking with the computers and the tick, 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 tick. The way they do the grid and the numbers, it's actually like a fun puzzle to try to figure it out each time. So.
I mean, you got to consider though, like Fallout happened. What year did Fallout happen?
Well, it was like life got stuck in the 50s.
Yeah.
It was actually like later on. It was like still 2000s time
Right,
frame.
but it was very 50s.
Yeah, it was just like they're just two different mechanics for achieving the same thing. I think it's easier to understand how the puzzle works.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, like puzzles have to meet this fine line between being complicated enough to feel satisfying, but easy enough to actually solve.
Yeah.
And the hacking in Fallout was like I never felt good when I got the hack.
Yeah.
I always felt like relief, like, oh, thank God I didn't get locked out of this terminal.
Right.
I agree. Okay, yeah.
So like that's like the big difference to me. Like literally, I had no idea. Like the first time I hacked something, I had no idea what I was doing.
Nobody does.
And then I realized, like, okay, so it's like if you pick a thing, that row opens up, and then that row, okay, so it's like, and then I was telling you, Jeremy, like, you can highlight the sequences, and it'll show you each instance of each letter, so you can start sort of pathing through.
Yep.
Because I didn't realize you could do multi-hack. I was always just going for the big one.
Right.
And then I realized, like, oh, I can actually go boop, 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 and get all three of them.
Yep.
I was like, that's freaking sick.
I've yet to get a triple. I've gotten a lot of doubles, but not a triple yet.
My first triple was an accident because of the way that it was laid out. It was like E9, E9, B9, E9, B9, C9, or something like that. So it just automatically just went bip, bip, bip. And I was like, oh, I got all cool.
That's pretty cool. So the hacking is super good. The shooting, from what I've read with the keyboard and mouse, awesome.
Man.
The driving people, Chris, the people are ripping apart keyboard and mouse for driving.
Okay, I'm playing on PC. I started with keyboard and mouse. And as soon as I had to drive with the keyboard and mouse, I plugged in my controller. And I was like, the difference between the two is like, imagine driving your car, except you're facing backwards and you're drunk.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Or you're driving a car and you have NASCAR level training. That's how big of a disparity there is between the keyboard. Like, so I literally just, as soon as I need to get into a car, I'd rather run somewhere than drive a car. That's how little driving I've done in this game so far. Unless I'm forced to drive a car, I run.
There's a couple times you are forced to drive a car.
So I like riding. I prefer motorcycles in Cyberpunk to cars.
No.
I have not gotten on a motorcycle yet.
Really?
They're fun.
So it took me a second. I told Jeremy the first time, I was like, this is hard riding a motorcycle. But now the more I drive it, like, you run into vehicles less because you're able to, like, cut between two vehicles.
Kara's
You're
a
not...
lane splitter over here.
Yeah.
Dang
Why you just
it!
move to California, Kara?
Oh, I have a story. This is okay. So, if you, it's just a spoiler.
I tell
We're
myself that all the
spoiling
time.
the Mandalorian.
Yeah, but Cyberpunk
I don't think this is a big spoiler. If you pick Nomad, you have to go drive into the city eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody
Right?
ends up in
There's
Night
a
City.
checkpoint. I was going like 180 miles an hour coming to this checkpoint, and I literally I blew through and past where I was supposed to go because I was going. So, like, you're supposed to drive up, stop, and then drive into this checkpoint thing. Like, Karen knows what I'm talking about. It's got like the barriers that come up.
Yeah.
I was going as fast as I could possibly go in this car, and I hit the thing and I go, foo, and I ended up on the other side of it. And I was like, and then everyone's like, stop, you must come back and proceed.
Oh
And it
my
didn't
gosh.
break anything, but I was super worried that I totally had glitched out of the game by jumping past where I was allowed to go.
How did you do that?
Because I was just going so fast.
Good lord.
I
It
hit the barrier just right that the car went over it, and then it bounced over the next barrier after it deflected
It's
off
like
the
those
thing.
concrete barriers at the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Oh
car
gosh.
shot over and bounced and ricocheted over and went off to through the other side. So then I was just parked out there, and I just got out and I walked all the way back to do the stuff. And I walked all the way back out to my car.
Good lord. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
So
David fast travels everywhere. You miss all the side missions when you fast travel, David.
I have had some fun glitches. So I've had one where I call in a motorcycle, and if it comes in really hot, it doesn't endo before it gets to you, which is really funny.
Yeah.
I was driving a mission where there was a spot where you're supposed to stop, but you have to drive to it. And I was on a motorcycle, and it just stopped me. So I'm driving, and all of a sudden it was like, and I just came to a dead stop.
I've
Like,
had that happen.
And then I've had one where I called in my motorcycle, and it just showed up it like rode up halfway in the ground. But then when I got on it, it glitched me there. It didn't do anything, and then I couldn't get off. There's nowhere for me to get off to. So I sat there long enough just mashing the button, and I think it could tell I was off the map, and it just like boop popped me off the bike eventually.
I get run over by cars a lot when I'm running places.
Do you?
It annoys the crap out of me. It's like,
It does the stupid arrow. You see the arrow animation like it's a debuff, like getting hit by a car is a debuff or whatever.
the
And you're
debuff
like,
of getting run over.
yeah, you like sit there dazed for a second before you actually get up, so it's super annoying.
I got killed trying to do a side mission. I was in a gunfight. Ended up backing up into the street and they got run over and got killed.
Oh my god.
There has been I've come across 2 or 3 fantastic Easter eggs. Like, no kidding Easter eggs. And there's one, is it spoiler? So, can I talk about it or no?
I don't know. I'd hold on to it for right now because like finding the Easter eggs is pretty satisfying.
All right, I'll let it roll. Anyways, there's just a famous voice actress that's in the game that's extremely famous. If you've played other games, you'll know what I'm talking about when you get to it.
Well, I was gonna say, can you tell us who the voice actress is? I don't think that would be a spoiler.
Yeah, you can look
What
that
it-
up on like IMDb.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, don't tell
Unless you think
who.
it's actually like tried to be a secret.
well, no, it's no. So it just is it when you get to it, I was like, no way, that is that character. It's the persona of which the voice actress is playing. That's the secret because they did it in such a way. So imagine if I told you guys think of Christopher Walken, you guys would know what he sounds
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Nobody knows this voice actress. They know the character she portrayed. So it's the fact that it's the same character in this. Just
Oh, okay,
it's
okay.
fascinating. It's really really
Okay.
good. And then there's even
You know Keanu Reeves?
yeah, right. Yeah, right. And then there's some dialogue. But there's been a couple really really good Easter eggs I ran into that has just made the game.
I actually haven't found any Easter eggs.
You'll
Have,
get
have
one.
have you found a purple or orange weapon yet?
Yes.
Purple.
I have not yet.
Yeah, I've definitely
Really?
got purple.
I almost have enough components to just craft a purple weapon.
I've gotten a few purples.
Here's what's
I've
funny to
not
me.
gotten a purple weapon yet.
I have a purple little tiny blade. It's a 5-inch blade, and I enjoy just running up to people and like, and I've killed a couple people that have sledgehammers, and they're green or white sledgehammers. So my little tiny 5-inch knife will do 400 damage DPS. My sledgehammer will do like 150, and it's just funny to
my
me.
gosh.
'Cause it's like, if you were to tell me I had to survive in life with only a sledgehammer or a knife, I'd take the damn hammer. You know.
Well, what's funny, Chris, last night when you were at our house watching Mandalorian, you saw my sunglasses and you're like, your sunglasses have more armor than the rest of my armor entirely.
And it's ridiculous the armor rating that gets assigned to these things. I was literally wearing a tank top and shorts and basketball shoes. It was like my high tier armor at one point. I was like, this is so stupid.
Well, so here's
my
what was really
gosh.
funny. One time I looked like a genie. I had like these.
The hot pink and purple Zuba pants?
Yep, hot pick and
That's
purple.
what I'm wearing right now.
And then
It's so bad.
for my headpiece, I had a balaclava. So it's like I've got like these poofy neon pants with a balaclava.
Oh, you
know
think
what,
that's bad? My top, I have a tank top, and then I've got a vest over top, and the vest has that really big, like, thick
Neck guard.
for the people who like disarm bombs and
Yep.
stuff. That's what it is, like this thick
Kara's wearing
chunk
an
of
EOD
just
suit.
armor, and I've got the balaclava over top. It's so bad.
I have a bomb diffuser helmet,
Yes.
and then I have a tank top that just has like a big collar on it.
Yeah.
It's not like the bomb diffuser collar. It's like a big like popped collar.
Oh, mine's the bomb.
And it's a
diffuser.
tank top.
Oh
and then
my
I'm wearing
gosh.
a red like striped lace like suit. And then I'm wearing like big old like muddy boots. It's terrible. And like cool sunglasses, of course.
So here's what I've noticed about the armor drops in this game too. Chris.
Katana's sick, by the way, Gabe. Katana is sick.
Katana is sick. The armor drops. It'll be like 5 for a piece of item. It'll go 5, 5, 5. You get a drop. It'll be like 25. And it has happened to me so many times. There's no like small increments. It's always like big jumps. So it's like, oh sweet, this shirt was 15. Then I got a 30, and now I just picked up like a 47, and then I think I just picked up a 59.
I think the bomb vest that I have is like a 40 something right now.
So it's like I get all these big armor jumps, but I got one of the funniest hats, and I got a glitch that worked in my favor. So Scooter from Borderlands, it's like the soft hat. It's like a bomber hat.
Yeah.
But like a mechanics wear specifically. I got one of those, and it's my highest armor item. But when I put it on, it doesn't show up on my character, so I'm going back to just my head.
Okay, so that's what I like about Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah.
You can choose to hide what you're wearing.
Yeah.
So you
So,
can say, I
like-
want to wear this. Or even Terraria, you can have like look
Yeah.
armor and then actual armor stat
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah. So I would totally hide the balaclava. I would hide that stupid bomber vest. You know, like
in Diablo, you can do what's it called now? Transmogrification. You just take your item, you put it in, you pay a little bit of gold to make it look like something else.
That's cool.
So you get all the stats of your one thing, but you get the look of whatever you want to.
yeah.
I've been debating. I have not seen if anybody has explained whether or not it's worth paying to upgrade your armor.
Right.
Because like there's in particular, because I got this tooltip because I found an iconic pistol at white rarity, of course.
Yeah.
But it has the crafting upgrades to upgrade it to green, then blue, then blah blah blah, right? And some of
the upgrades are pretty hefty requirements, though.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot of good resources.
But the tooltip specifically said like it's like you can keep guns throughout the entire game basically if you pay to upgrade them.
Yep.
And I was like, well, so should I just find the armor that I think looks the coolest or has the most mod slots or something and just pay to upgrade it? Or should I just keep finding stuff and replacing it? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, because, like, granted, if depending on how long you just want to grind, there's infinite crafting materials.
Right.
But, like, I only want to spend a finite amount of time playing this game, so am I better off just continually upgrading my armor and looking stupid? Or should I find an armor set that I really like and just pay to keep craft upgrading it?
Right.
See, I think right now I'm just going through and wearing the dumb things as I go.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing too.
Because eventually, at some point, I feel once you get to a certain point, it's gonna look cool.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's
like
it's that negative
Destiny.
return. Like, yeah, you get to a point where there's not a lot of increases in the armor stats anymore, so it's worth it investing into like armor that you can spec out to how you want it for
But I
different
hate the
things.
way my character looks right now. I look absolutely stupid.
And the gun stats are really all where it's at right now anyway.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
like your gun stat makes your character.
Oh, my sniper
I-
charge sniper rifle is so good.
I have I have a 6-shot revolver pistol that I have a
Nice.
silencer on.
Nice.
That's
And
awesome.
I have a scope and a silencer on it. This is the one that I had the 3 bullets and got 3 headshots and 3 kills.
That's sick.
It's like, and it's so like the thing is, the silencer only gives you a damage increase if you're stealthed and undetected.
No.
So as soon as I get detected, I have to switch to a different gun because otherwise there's a big damage penalty for having a suppressor on.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, it's so freaking OP. It's
That's cool though.
Like, it's so freaking cool just be able to go like just like line up, be like lining up my sniper shot with my pistol,
yeah.
and just go pop.
Sounds
And,
like a hand cannon.
I don't know if you guys have noticed. I don't know how slow you play through the game. If you put a shot on somebody, it'll show you how much health it'll take away.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So, like, the interesting thing is, like, the way that it calculates it, it'll take a quarter away, but because I have the stacked headshot bonuses and crit chance bonuses,
Yeah, it'll do just so much more.
it doesn't show it, though.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's like, I'll line it up, okay, then I'll hit it, and go, bah, and they're immediately down. And then everybody else has, like, some time to react, so it's like, depending on how fast you are, you just go, pop, 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 and they're gone. And that's super satisfying. If they survive that, I'm kind of screwed because then I have to switch to my auto pistol and just like spray and pray and then.
There's some I picked up 2 really cool pistols too. One looks like the Sunshot in Destiny.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a long barrel with a
That's
nice
awesome.
thick. It looks sick. It looks really really cool. Super fun. But all right, it is 8:00, so it's time to talk about Mandalorian.
Oh, I suppose. Do we want to do Star Wars leaks and then Mandalorian, or Mandalorian first?
Let's do Star Wars leaks are probably going to be Mandalorian, but Gabe or Brad might not have to leave if we start with the leaks.
All right, so we'll start with Star Wars leaks. I'll get that pulled up. We're kind of dropping some frames, but whatever.
You know, there might be a lot of talk about what Disney announced.
That's true.
More
That
than
is true.
Mando.
The High Republic. There's so much High Republic stuff coming out, which is super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
So Chris can do a little scroll and kind of see what's
There we go.
What's going on for the Star Wars?
Yep.
leaks.
Do I feel like changing the colors? I don't know.
Well, if it's all Mando, then probably.
Our internet is running so poorly right now. You/the Burger King. Nice.
Huh.
Okay.
Are you in top for the week?
Oh, I'm not. I was in top week.
You've called
Riveting
Chris out for
podcast.
everything. Kara's like, you recording?
Yeah, do you want to
No.
sit back here, Kara?
Yeah. Are you in top?
I'm sorry. I just want to make your life
Jeez.
easier.
Gonna burst our
I'm
bubble.
trying.
So that's
guys.
good.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, that's
Drum roll.
Right.
yeah. It's basically all Mandalorian.
All right. So
Should we just jump to Mando then?
Yeah, so let's talk about the
Props.
Mandalorian stuff, and then we can do a little bit of Star Wars leaks at the end of the Mandalorian discussion.
So are we changing the light color for Brad?
Yeah, so we'll yeah.
Well, whoever has
you guys start talking about it. I'll switch everything to red.
All right. So this is exactly what my fear was. And this was, I'm not spoiling anything yet until the lights go. But this week's episode, we knew was going to be a follow-up to last week's episode.
As episodes do.
But not wrap anything up from last week's
Yes.
episode.
So it's like a divert. We had to like go watch a little story. And it was good. It was really, really good. I'm just waiting to like go to spoiler town here because it's going to be just a whack it out of the park for a story. Oh, there we go.
Hold on, I gotta get the other set.
I see red on one side. We're red enough. Brad, this is your warning. We are red. We are going live. Okay, so obviously, here we go. Baby Yoda, or Grogu, was picked up by Moff Gideon.
Yep.
And, guys, we knew that he had to go get Bill Burr. So the thing I liked about the episode was that I didn't want to watch a prison break sequence. And that's not what we saw.
Right.
No,
So that is
Marshall.
that is what I
Dune,
liked.
Marshall Dune.
So we didn't have to watch that. So I like how they did it. They just jumped, getting him out of the jail, and then from there though.
And I think I had said something about that where it's like they'll already have him basically like, wow, what a crazy adventure we had.
Yeah, and I loved that so much more than like how they did that. So that was a big relief. Everything from there on out, I absolutely love the episode. I just really wanted to see it get it resolved. So now it's like we have one episode left this season. That's it, and then it's gonna be it's gonna be that's it for the
Another
season.
10.5 months of waiting.
But like everything was awesome. We got the TIE fighter. We got Slave One dropping bombs. We got
That was actually a Star Wars leak. It said the sound we've all been waiting for.
there you go. See, it's
Jeremy,
like
at that point, Jeremy paused the show, turned on our sound bar. And like he didn't even know. Like the TIE fighter started following Slave One.
but
up,
they were behind him. That's what the thing was.
and Jeremy was like, "Nope, guys, pause, just in case." And he turned on the sound bar and cranked it up. And literally, like 2 seconds later, the bomb dropped, and it was like,
Yeah.
boom.
Bong. And
so
the way it
cool.
like cut through just the ties and nothing else, it was so sick.
Oh,
It
that
looked
was so
good.
satisfying. And then going down and seeing Cara Dune and
So
Ming-Na Wen's character, I forget her name, and they just kind of smirk up there, like, yeah.
So Kara told me this earlier, and I don't think you were there for it. The Imperial officer that they shot, Chris, you haven't seen Game of Thrones, but that's the Night King.
Yep.
Okay.
That is a major villain in Game of Thrones, like the villain.
Like
Well, isn't
5 seasons.
the Mandalorian Game of Thrones dude?
He's also
He
Game
is.
of Thrones.
He's,
Pedro Pascal
was
was.
he opposed to the guy that they killed?
No, it's completely different. He was fighting for revenge.
Dorne.
He was fighting for a land of sun and shine.
Dorne.
And Night King's just trying to freeze everybody.
Yeah.
Make
He
him
never.
all
He's like the
Zombie
Frost King
armor.
from Adventure Time.
Yeah, right.
Have
Trying to
you guys
freeze
watched
it.
Adventure Time?
A little bit of
I
it.
have not.
You guys need to watch Adventure Time.
Well, it's got my favorite Bender in it.
Yeah, John. Yeah, he plays the
Jake the dog. Yeah.
Jake the dog and Finn the human. It's such a good show.
I thought that was cool that the Imperial officer was the Night
No,
King.
that was super
Like-
cool. And then, he had to take off of his helmet, and then, it was
the
just like he
things he would do
compromised
for Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Grogu, whatever you want
The
to
best part about the episode, besides the bong, was when he literally just like smack talked Xbox Live teabagged Moff Gideon with his, shit, I'm coming for you. You don't know what you did. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on your channel. I'm coming in. Get you. Like, and Moff Gideon actually looked a little scared, which I thought was kind of cool. Like, he was like, oh man,
I mean,
he's actually coming for me.
Mando is gonna get Grogu back, like, no matter what it takes.
What if Grogu's evil now?
He's not. Don't say negative things, Chris.
What if Grogu's dead?
You stop saying even negative
What if
things.
his corpse is evil?
It's like the zombies in Clone Wars, the Night Sister zombies.
Yep. Night Sister,
You guys
Grogu
stop
confirmed.
being negative.
Yep. We did it.
Acolyte confirmed.
What if
No.
he switches to being a Darth Maul? He just like
Oh.
paints his face.
Can you imagine little baby Yoda's body
Oh,
with little legs?
No. So,
little mechanical legs.
Carrot, somebody did a redo of that specific version of Baby Yoda, and they painted it to look like Padme.
I've seen that
Or
one.
Queen
I've also,
Amidala.
Oh,
Queen
okay.
Amidala. I've
It's
seen Queen Amidala.
sick. So it's got
I've
the, like,
seen Maul as well.
the red gown. It's super
Yeah.
cool.
People
With
are
the
taking
white
them
and
and-
then
yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool.
They should do one like Han Solo.
What would you do?
I don't know.
Do Chewbacca.
Put a little wig on him and
Yeah.
a blaster.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And then like the blue pants with the red stripes. It'd be super cool.
Oh, baby Yodsters.
Just always famous. Do C-3PO, Baby Yoda.
Just all gold.
Give him a pumpkin bucket.
Yep. But so okay. So then the other thing I love,
Look at that robot dance.
Bill
Why
Burr
is it not working?
in Mandalorian is an awesome character. We're talking about the Mandalorian
sorry.
here. Stop making C-3PO dance. No, Bill Burr is an amazing performance. His quick-witted, high-paced voice, like acting, it fits. I love the character.
And the counterpoints that he'd bring up for stuff too. It's like not necessarily the most optimistic, but maybe like, and not pessimistic either, but like the most sort of like grounded in the reality of what Star Wars is.
Right.
And like the argument that he got into with that commanding officer guy talking about was like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like did it benefit the people that we murdered? Did it benefit the people that we lost on the way?
Right.
Did it benefit the systems in general?
Yeah.
Kablamo, kablamo.
He saw the terrorists like attacking the thing, or when they're driving through the town, and he's just like these people are living their lives. They'll be here long before, they're here be long after, or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
we're just foreigners occupying
Yep.
their land.
yeah, like he views the New Republic like, what good did they do anybody type of thing, like it's just one different form of leadership, So his character was awesome. Was really surprised they brought him back. It was done really well. I did love the episode. It's just you can't steal or kidnap Grogu and then not resolve it. Like that is a hard thing to wait for,
Yeah.
So but as filler episodes go, or as a transitionary, like from that, taking a break and doing that, I loved it. It was really fantastic.
Yeah, I loved the two women snipers just
That was
sitting
sick.
up there, just popping
The
off
short
all those
trooper
short
like
troopers
laying under the
and-
vent, and then they just go boom, and then popping the short troopers off, and the Wilhelm screams, off the side of the edge.
I
but-
thought this was a really good episode. It was solid. There's a lot of action. Boba Fett's armor looks
Boba Fett's-
BA now.
The mint paint job.
Like, dang, we didn't even see that in the original 3. Like,
his voice is epic.
Yeah,
It's just
Tamora
so
Morrison.
good. Like when they're yelling out, he just has that authoritative like voice, which was really really good. You know, so you tell I can't imagine you got Peter Pascal has like an authoritative voice when he's like tells Boba Fett to do something. Like listen to those two talk. I could listen to an audiobook or conversation of Pedro
those two
Pascal talking
talking.
to Tamora Morrison and their voices just
Yeah.
all day.
It's kind of funny, like at the very beginning when they go and pick up Bill Burr and he sees Boba Fett, he's like, "Oh, I thought it was gonna be the other guy."
Yeah, yeah.
Walks down.
So awesome, so good. And then they let him go at the end. It just the whole episode was fantastic. It's super fun.
I was kind of hoping he'd get his cool shoulder blaster again.
Oh yeah, he has a yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
that was from his
cool-
Life of Crime days.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even that angry, like it held anybody that responsible. The stupid thermal detonator time frame was a little ridiculous though. They
Yeah.
slap it on there and it's like beep 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 beep, beep 25 million years later.
Yeah. 20
you know.
minutes later.
So
Oh, so speaking of SpongeBob's voice, the guy Tom Kenny is the voice of the Ice King in
oh, is he?
Adventure Time, yeah.
Oh, funny. Is also voice of SpongeBob?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
It kind of sounds a little SpongeBob-y at times too, but it's like you should watch Adventure Time.
I will. I want to watch the regular show because that's got Mark Hamill as a gorilla.
Yeah. Oh no, he's Sasquatch.
Oh, he's Sasquatch. He's not a
Yep.
gorilla.
Yeah, Skips.
God, yeah, Skips. Oh, he's awesome.
Morty guy, Rigby, what are you doing in here? That's what he sounds like.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
like the best Skips impersonation you'll ever hear.
See,
That's exactly what he
Big
sounds
Mark
like.
Hamill.
Oh god, his story is so freaking good too. He's like battling intercosmic. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's really freaking good.
In the regular show?
yeah, like it kind of like the episodes don't really lead to anything, but like the connected canon that ends up building about these characters is insane. And Skips in particular is the biggest badass ever.
That's awesome.
And like like how he got his name, like how he started, like they call him Skips because he skips everywhere, but they're like, what do people call you before you called Skips? And it's like why do you skip everywhere? And it's always this thing, and then they actually like explain it, and it's such like a like right in the feels story. It's so freaking good.
That's
And they're
cool.
only like 12-minute long episodes. You could watch the entire series in like a couple of days.
Oh,
That's cool.
Dang.
So yeah.
I'll have to crush that.
Yeah.
I think we got a couple comments. Anybody want to talk about their experience in Mandalorian? What you liked, didn't like? Let us know. We'll gladly. This is a two-way street.
Oh, we
you.
who mentioned that one of the I can't remember the 32 who's that again?
Jody.
Jody.
Said the storyboards and the credits had Poe Dameron in them, and then we
That's what Jeremy
I
said.
said that, but it was as an Imperial officer. It looked like.
yeah, so it's like a striking resemblance, but like he would have been
He had
2
been a
years
kid.
old.
Yeah.
Gabe says the hand-to-hand combat scene was amazing.
And the on top of
On
on
the
top of the freighter thing.
Redanian truck.
Thank goodness for bringing that up, Gabe. I am so sick of BA characters getting their butts kicked in hand-to-hand combat to just barely make it at the last second. I felt like the Mandalorian was in control the entire time.
Yeah.
It was a breath of fresh air to traditional
Sickest
fight
part-
scenes.
He beats everybody off. There's the one last guy at the end of the Redanian truck. He picks up the spear and just goes,
Yeah,
blasts him right off. I know that was sick.
and just like casually walks up to the thermal detonator that's on like been on 1.00 for about 10 seconds. Then picks it up and throws it into the. How many thermal? Like I just feel
Okay,
like,
that was a little ridiculous. When they all show up and they all have like 65 thermal detonators
I
rolling
know.
around.
Well, it's just like so originally you saw how many? Just one thing of
Yeah,
pirates.
show up.
yeah,
And
then
then
it was
that
2,
one, and then there was 2.
and then it was 3, and
Yep.
then it was like 5, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, it's like you only ever see 1 or 2, and then all of a sudden, nope, there's like 5 there. What? Like, no.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
But oh yeah, it was a very very good episode.
Now, was this episode that they mentioned Operation Cinder? Was
Yes.
it the,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
yeah. 'Cause Bill Burr brought it up, I think.
Yep.
It was the Imperial officer didn't he?
Well, they
I
def-
Or
thought
when
they
they
were
were
talking-
talking together,
Yeah.
it got brought up. And I think the only other time we really hear it mentioned is either in books or in Inferno Squad.
If you play Battlefront 2,
Was it Battlefront 2
the
that
story of
Inferno Squad
Battlefront 2 is
Iden Versio?
yes,
Yeah.
all around. It's
I thought
Operation
it
Cinder.
was cool that they actually tied it in now to a TV show.
It's that connectedness. Like so, it's like you
Yeah.
got this reference here. There's a compass in either the Last Jedi that Luke goes and finds in Battlefront 2 as well. Like that's in
Yes.
there. The compass to find the 2 thingy majiggies. Luke found one of them.
Holocron?
The holocrons to get to Exegol.
Yeah.
There's a compass that points to the holocrons. Ray's got
Oh, so
one
it's like the compass that Jack Sparrow has.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. There's
Goes
the one
probably
like that
heart
Ray
most
finds, and it's
desires.
like the knife, and then there's one that.
Okay, can we talk a second about how stupid that freaking dagger is?
I know it is really dumb.
Like, you think about the logistics of what you have to do to manufacture that dagger, right?
Right.
The Death Star has to have already been crashed in that place. You have to go and stand on that exact spot of the beach, make this freaking dagger, and know that it's like, okay, so this giant sphere that can be tumbled in any direction has to point exactly to like right, and like it just points to a point on the side of the stupid Death Star.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, I know exactly where that room is. It's so like.
See, you know what's awesome about the Mandalorian? He's got the little tractor, and it just goes beep, beep when it's close. Like,
Yeah.
they couldn't have done that for the holocron thingies, you know?
Or have her use the Force.
Right, I was gonna say you'd think there would be some force sensitivity to like draw her to the holocron, instead of like
If only they had that mechanic, right?
Stupid freaking dagger. Like that's not, like the only thing that I like don't like about that movie is that stupid dagger. And it doesn't even look like it's made out of metal. It looks like it's out of plastic.
seriously.
Hot metal.
Right.
No, and then the people didn't like the horses on the thing. I didn't mind the horses.
Whatever. I don't
The
give a crap.
six-legged horses or whatever.
They're always gonna do something stupid like that. So.
Ah! Riding horses, but Chris is like, no, the dagger. No, the dagger seems a little ridiculous. It's crazy. But
Anyway.
solid episode of Mandalorian. I think that's probably about it for Mando discussion.
All right, let's
for
do
week.
the leaks real quick.
Yeah,
here.
fire up the leaks.
Hayden Christensen returns as Darth Vader. We talked about that. George Lucas on why he decided to not make the sequel trilogy.
I saw a thing about that, and it really hurt him to have to sell Lucasfilm, but he just knew he wanted to live his life and not make videos.
Yeah. In 2012, he was 69 years old. The question he was asking himself is, am I going to keep doing this the rest of my life? Do I want to go through this again? Finally, I decided I'd rather raise my daughter and enjoy life for a while.
Totally worth it.
They need to hand the reins of Star Wars over to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
Yep.
100%.
See, Tamura Morrison responds to Boba's reception. I'm blown away by the warmth that you all conveyed in the messages and
Oh,
comments.
he's amazing. He's
Still
absolutely
getting used to the
amazing.
social media thing. After all, I'm just a simple man.
Yes.
Well, that was the quote from Django, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
We think of Django as his dad, and it's
It's
him as
him,
well.
yeah.
It's so funny. There was a moment he described about what it was like putting that armor on, and it was like breathtaking for everyone involved. Like,
Yeah.
because he wore the armor again, and imagine he wore the armor in 2000, the early 2000, basically 01, 02 time frame. Imagine like 20 years later,
Yeah.
getting out.
I find it interesting that he basically is wearing the same kind of pants that Ahsoka's is wearing.
Oh, really?
Have you noticed that?
They're probably really popular pants.
Apparently, wherever
so
they both
roomy and they
were,
breathe.
right? I just think it's interesting because it's like the harem kind of style pants.
Yeah, with the cool belt buckle and.
I don't
Yeah.
know pants.
Oh, it's just like I think Aladdin pants.
Oh, okay.
My,
Yeah.
my Cyberpunk character is also wearing the same kind of pants.
I think MC Hammer when I think of those.
Oh yeah, they're harem pants. They're like Jasmine wears or Aladdin or whatever.
I can show you the Force.
Right?
But yeah, Ahsoka
Binds
wears
the
those.
universe together.
Oh my gosh.
Razor Crest is no longer with us.
Hey, that was last week. Also, I didn't hear anything about Acolyte except for the title of it. Are you guys familiar with what it's going to be?
Well, so Juliet tagged us, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming an Acolyte is a Night Sister. So it
Yeah.
might be about Dathomir and Night Sisters.
I really hope it's something with the Night Sisters because that'd be sick.
The Acolyte will be a mystery thriller following the dark side emerging during the end of the High Republic.
Yep.
That sounds
Okay, so
pretty
yeah, it
freaking
must be
sick.
Night Sisters.
Yeah, it must be.
Because
Maybe you'll
they, I
find out
mean,
like a
they
Mother Talzin, old
Yeah.
Daka storyline or something.
they kind of deal with dark magic and stuff like that.
Let's see here. Children of Blood and Bone. What's that?
I have no
I think that's
idea.
another Disney Plus. I don't think it's necessarily Star Wars.
Yeah, so all the
But-
Lucasfilm titles announced on the Disney Investor Stream. So it's Children of Blood and Bone, Star Wars Visions, The Mandalorian, Lando, Droid
right.
Stories. So you're right, it was Droids. Rogue Squadron, The Acolyte, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Willow. They're bringing Willow back. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Warwick Jr. or
Oh.
Warwick. Yeah.
Bad Batch and Indiana Jones.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yep. Indiana Jones. I heard that.
I had never even heard that one.
Yeah, they announced there's gonna be another Indiana Jones movie,
Huh.
and it's gonna be the last one they make.
Until they reboot it with another actor.
Ah,
And then
Yeah.
there's obviously the last spoiler is Din Djarin out of his armor in the Stormtrooper armor without his helmet on.
And everybody died but Bill Burr.
Yep.
I thought Bill Burr was going to die because of that.
You know
Like,
why?
right.
I love
Because
that
he
they let
had
him
his
go
train
at the end.
table up.
And then seat back in the full of.
Upright
Hey,
position.
yeah, 432 is also a big. Well, at least Tiffany is a big Weird Al fan.
Yeah.
So
Weird Al quality. Okay, now I got to figure out these dumb lights.
turning back to green.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be the big thing. I guess we'll just finish up with. This is probably the last. Not probably. This is the last time you'll see Kara with her belly.
Yep.
She'll be dead by the end of the week.
I get induced on Tuesday if he hasn't shown up by then.
So
So,
if he hasn't joined the world yet, he's here, but just out into it
Right.
by Tuesday. We're going in to have him start the process started.
It's like what time? Like 12:01 a.m. Tuesday, noon Tuesday, 4 p.m.
9 a.m.
Tuesday.
9 a.m. Tuesday is when I'm scheduled, but I mean, I have to call them and make sure there's not 5 million other women having babies that day. But fortunately, it's not a full moon, and apparently, full moon is when women go into labor. So I should be solid just to call them
His
up, be
original
like,
due date was kind of closer to a full moon, wasn't it?
December 22nd was
The
his
29th is the full moon, so it'd be closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 22nd was his due date, but they said last Tuesday he was estimated to be 8 pounds 6 ounces, and they're like, we want you to have a natural birth, not a C-section, so let's get this thing rolling so I don't deliver a 10.5-pound baby.
And he has a massive head.
And he's
Yes.
got a head.
Mr. Big Head.
His head is greater
Mr.
than the 95th percentile.
Bev, Rocco's in the seven bushes again. I
Oh,
love.
that's what he sounds like.
No, that's Mr. Big Head.
Yeah, that's what he
From
is.
Rocco's Modern
I
Life?
know.
Spunky is his name. Spunky's the dog. So he goes, yeah, Bev, Spunky's in the seven bushes again. Because Spunky's such a naughty dog. I love Mr. Big Head. Rocco.
Oh my god.
He's my favorite character. I love him. So good. But no, so as you know, we talked about 23andMe and that I'm like 96% Neanderthal. I
That's
had
where
a
his
joke
big
where
head's coming from.
I had a joke where so at work the other day, you know the best thing about vacuuming is using it as a blunt object to move stuff. I love it. So like we're cleaning up, it's the end of the day, and so it's like I'm trying to be nice, so I start vacuuming. And it's just so awesome. It's like there's a table in your way, or like there's like a crumb or something right next to a leg of a table. Oh, just ram the entire table until you can get it with the vacuum. So it's like, I'm just like wham, wham, wham. People sitting at their desk not getting out of my way. Wham, wham, wham with the vacuum. Oh, come over here. Wham, wham, wham. Just use the vacuum as a weapon. That's the best thing, right? And so somebody said like, man, you're like just caveman over here vacuuming. And I'm like, well, thank you. Yes, I am. I am. It's caveman training, Neanderthal, but.
Oh,
It's just so fun. They're like shaped and they're hard because you got to be able to like have the handle, the brush rotation, and everything. It's perfect for just whacking stuff, So satisfying.
Modern day
So,
club.
Modern day club.
Brad asks, have you seen So I Married an Axe Murderer? I have seen that, actually.
I have not.
And then Latin Operations Forces says, we're all hoping the best for you, Kara.
Aw, thanks, guys. We're excited.
That's why the kid's name is going to be Domingo.
Exactly.
And that will be revealed. We'll message on Discord, the Latin Operation Forces. Keep you guys, let you know how everything's going. No pictures or anything, but just like text updates.
Boo. That's
Boo, right.
live stream birth or nothing.
Nobody wants to see that.
Tasteful angles, of course.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thilmany was wishing that you would just like go into labor on the podcast.
A lot of people were like, what if it happens during the podcast? Like somebody else told me that I worked with. They're like, be so cool. Like imagine growing up and then being able to like
See
like,
the exact moment you're like,
be like,
I'm ready.
see Kara just time to go, and she's out.
Here's the thing. Contractions take a while to go from the beginning, like, oh, there's something, to, all right, time to go. So, I mean, I even like with the beginning contractions, I probably would have gone through this podcast just fine. Just saying.
Actually, I know how we're gonna take it out. What's the date today?
What is 12/12?
Okay, we're gonna finish on this. All right.
Wrapping up early.
Boom. Lego Advent Calendar.
Oh, dang.
These
Okay.
are kind of hard to get. No,
I don't have a top down for this.
I got mine. I got this back in like August.
Okay, so these
From
things are kind of
Kohl's.
hard to get. So we're just gonna do a couple here.
Show mine.
We're gonna do a couple here. So we did the first on the first and the second on the second, but we quit on the third because I've heard of a thing called Build in the Bag Challenge. So on the third, we got Kara tonight to do this. She built Luke's hut in the bag.
In middle camera.
Middle camera? In the bag.
A little more to the right. A little, that should be where the focus grabs. Maybe you're a little too close.
Ooh,
I haven't said it on your face, I think, actually. There
Put
it
your
is.
hand behind it. Makeup artists do it all the time.
So there we go. Look at that.
Too close.
She built the. Well, you saw it. She built it in the bag. That's so cool.
Took me 4 minutes.
So we have
Like exactly 4 minutes.
from the 4th until the 12th. We're gonna open up right now.
Oh.
All right. So here we go. Here we go. Day 4 of the Advent calendar is boom. We got Luke from. When is that Luke?
That'd be
Farm
New
Boy
Hope.
Luke. Tatooine
Hope.
Luke.
Yeah.
All right, Kara.
Is that binoculars in his hand or
Yep.
Okay.
Chris,
Binocs?
here we call them binocs.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. All right, day 5. Here we go.
Wait,
Let's
are we
check.
building these as we go or just
I
hold
mean, if you can't build that in the bag, you should quit.
All right. So this one we're not gonna open. We're gonna do a build a bag with this.
Oh, Lord.
This is the Razor Crest.
Oh, heck yeah.
So
hey, that's
that-
what it looks like now.
Yeah, right.
Wait, I'm building that right now?
Okay, and then day 6.
No, we'll save that for a...
We'll save
Okay,
that.
I was gonna say.
Day 6. Do you want to open one of these, Kara? You want me to keep going?
You can keep going.
Okay, day 6. Here we go. Oh, we got the Dorito TIE Fighter. So this will also be
Hey, that
a
one's
build-
worth $80.
But yeah, right. A build in the bag challenge. All right, day 7. What do we get? Day 7. Oh, it's got the porg on it. Kara, go ahead, do the porg.
Oh, let me see. Day 7. Please be the porg. Oh, it's Sith Trooper.
Kara got a Sith Trooper. Go ahead and do day 8. I'll build the Sith Trooper.
Think you can do that in the bag?
Yep.
8 is an X-Wing, which will probably be another in the bag build.
Cool.
9. Dio's on this one. Let's see. It's Rey. Rise of Skywalker, Rey. 10. Why can't they just put these in order? Making a pregnant lady limited brain capacity. 10 is Dio. He's so cute with a little Santa hat. Oh,
All right, hand that back over.
fine. Okay, you gotta do 11 and 12.
11 and 12. Here we go. 11 and 12 of the Advent calendar. The Falcon. This is a Millennium Falcon. Look at how many pieces that is. That would be a hard build in the bag challenge. That is intense. I don't think that could be done.
Somebody did it. On the Bantha Bricks page, somebody posted, they're like, build it in a bag, they said. It would be fun, they said.
Kara, I take it back. You can open 12.
Okay, yes, please. Is it
Did you open it already?
No.
is the porg? Ooh, it's the porg.
Kara got the porg.
Is that 2 years in a row?
Oh, wait, did they give us... Oh, it almost looked like there were 2 bags in here to make 2 porgs. I was like,
Double porgs. Chewy's getting one for dinner.
no.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're caught up. We are now caught up.
If you guys want to see a 60-second clip, it's not out yet. Give it a couple days of Kara building some of these Advent calendars in the bag. Hop on over to Brickable, and you can see on our YouTube Shorts that she is doing this build-a-bag challenge. And I haven't done one because I don't think I can do it.
I think you could.
Didn't you just build that dude in the bag?
That doesn't count. It's a minifig. That's like playing with Duplos.
You have mistakes in minifigs before.
I know I have. That's when they've got capes and stuff.
At pauldrons.
The
or
pauldrons
the pants
and-
are on backwards.
Oh, man. It's got me.
It's okay.
So that's pretty fun. So we've got tons of fun stuff to build. I highly recommend. Lego Advent calendars are just awesome. If you haven't ever got one of those, pick one of those up. They're just fun. Give you something to do.
Well,
each day.
they make Star Wars, they make Harry Potter. They make different ones.
I really like this build in the bag thing though. It's kind of fun. It's really a little challenge.
So what you got to do is with a full Lego kit. Like 1,000 piecer.
can you-
They come in
imagine?
separate bags though.
Yeah, but build everything you can in the bag.
Oh man.
We'd probably be the first people to do it, and that would be a strug.
Joshy says he likes our Lego builds. I don't know if I said that or not.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks Joshy.
And then Brad says, in reference to So I Married an Axe Murderer, he says, watch it, laugh your butt off, but wait for the part where he makes fun of the kid with the big head.
Got it.
Oh man.
So, all right, Chris. Well,
It's about that time, I suppose.
about that time.
Is there anything that we didn't talk about? We did listener mail. We'll just do one more listener mail thing. If you have any Star Wars related stories, anything that you want to challenge Jeremy to do, anything you want to talk about, any way you want to shape or guide the way the podcast goes, feedback, criticism, well wishes,
Tell us
or
anything.
death threats, anything you want to send to us, contact
tell
at
us to make it 10 minutes.
risethepodcast.com.
Tell us to make it 24 hours.
So, I know you'd make Jeremy's Christmas.
You would. That's what we should do. Everybody should send Jeremy an email for Christmas. He would love it.
I would really like it.
That's all he wants for Christmas.
All he wants for Christmas.
Can you
is a
change
letter
this
from
Charlie
you.
Brown Grinch
All right,
over?
well, if you...
Oh, sorry. I have a joke. If you liked it this
quick.
far in the video, it was a joke about Santa, and he got a new reindeer called Hacker, and tells Santa how people are naughty or nice on the internet.
All right, comment down below if you like Jeremy's jokes. Subscribe if you're not already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time we go live or upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course,
May the force be with you.